You'll know I love crafting. I'm a big crafting fan. I used to do a kids' art show on CBBC. If you're a new joiner, hello. So I'm very excited about my next guest. Mara Campbell is originally from Argentina, always had a passion for crafting, sewing in particular, which is why shortly after moving to Reading, she decided to jack in the day job, open her own business, Reading Sewing Bee. It's a collaborative space for sewers and crafters to share their love with like-minded people that love mending and creating, working with fabric. And she's here now. Nice to have you here.
Hi, thank you.
So tell me that. I had a little look online at Reading Sewing Bee. It looks like a great space. Tell me what exactly goes on in there.
Well, it's a place where we have lots of workshops at the moment, but also, well, at the moment and always, but also it's thought as a space where you could come with your own project and just sit and sew without any guidance or a set activity or anything. It all started with me trying to craft in my tiny 3-bed Victorian and having to use the dining room table and clear everything out for dinner and stuff. And I thought, well, if I have this problem, other people must have it too. So I thought of setting up like my ideal sewing room, but times 6. Yes. So I could have other people come in and, of course, be able to pay the rent. So, yeah, turn it into a little bit of a business. And also along the way, it's been almost a year since I've been open. I've met lots of amazing people who teach courses and workshops, and it's a lot of synergy. And even just coming and sewing, you get to talk about buttons for an hour with somebody. You don't really have people in your life who are excited about a French seam as you do with other yes. with other sewers. So but to that point, I'm actually going to do a sew and tell.
Good name.
In the very close future, so that people can bring something they made and talk about it and have other people excited for them and praise them for their amazing piecing of this little quilt or whatever, something you can't have with people in your life usually.
And so when you have that idea, that dream, how difficult was it to, where do you find a premises that's going to work, and how hard has it been to set it up?
Well, it has been hard. First of all, I had to sell my previous business to have the capital. Of course, everything is always much more expensive than you expect or plan and budget for. But for me, it was more like something I needed to do, not something I wanted to do. It was like that's what I wanted to do all day. Like, so that's actually my mantra, and it's actually even the Wi-Fi password. So all day, literally. So it's something that I needed to do. It took me a few months, to find a space. Once I've been in the space, I now know much better what I need from the space, So if I have to move in the future, I will be careful with a few things that I didn't really give importance to at the beginning. But now I really understand how the dynamic, because it's a living thing, It started off in my mind as one thing, and it started taking its own life in a good way, and turning into something of its own. So yes, you can only plan so much, but then you just have to give in.
And also, the old, if you build it, they will come. Was there that
yes.
worry that people wouldn't necessarily even know about it as
Absolutely.
a thing?
Yeah, I've been thinking about that a lot lately. I think small businesses, what they don't, and I did take a few classes, business classes and everything, and I'd already run a business for 20 years, so it's not that I'm new at this, but the biggest part is marketing and getting people to know what you are and where you are, I feel like there's lots of help and courses and grants and things, but they might be not, at least in my experience, focused in the right place. If they only gave me a billboard on the 17 bus for one day, that would make such a difference to me. And I will probably not be able to afford it today if I went to Reading Buses and asked them to do that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, getting to know, getting other people to know what you do, where you are, and what you offer is the hardest part and the most important one at the same time.
We will tell people all those 3 things next this morning. And also, I want to have a little look at some of the stuff that you sew and you make. So when you brought stuff in, we shall do that next on BBC Radio Berkshire. First up is Belinda Carlisle. We want the same thing. BBC Radio Berkshire, it's Kirsten O'Brien with you, and I'm talking to Mara Campbell, who has opened up, a year ago now, the Reading Sewing Bee. Whereabouts exactly is it?
This is on Fopney Street. It used to be a restaurant, a fish restaurant. Most people know it like that. It used to be Loch Fyne.
Oh, yes.
It's around the corner from the Reading Borough Council offices. So, yeah, behind the Oracle-ish.
And when is it open? When can people, you said just drop in, or do you book the space? How does it work?
Both, either. We're open from Tuesday to Saturdays from 10 to 2 and 3 to 7. And we do run courses several mornings or afternoons, then one-off workshops here and there. And then you can just book a session to come and do your own sewing if you already know how to sew in different times. And yeah.
I was going to say that there's people probably like me. I've got my mum's sewing machine. At one point I did know how to use it, and now I have a sort of fear. I'd love to be able to rustle up little, like lavender things for the ward, really quick things, but I can't quite. So do you run courses for people that just are rusty, basically? Is what I'm saying.
Yes, we have garment making long beginners, intermediates and advanced courses, and then we have like a one-day absolute beginners course, and then we do like little workshops of different things you can make that you don't really know how to sew a lot. And even though if you've sewn before, or even if you haven't, my machines are like on the higher, nicer end, and maybe most people don't have them at home, so I give them an induction when they come. I show them how to work them and everything, but basically sewing machines are all almost the same.
It's that weird which direction you thread through thing that gets people, isn't it? What have you brought in? There's gorgeous things you've brought in today. We're going to do our own sew and tell. What have you got?
Well, so I have this I'm very proud of. I made this little quilt for my daughter for Christmas. She's 13. And I was thinking of making her a quilt, but I didn't know where to start. So I bought this thing called a jelly roll, which is a pack of strips, all the same size, 40 inches by 2.5 inches long, wide, and you get like 40 or 45 in a pack. They come in a round, cakey thing of material. Yes, and they all kind of match together. They're not the same.
So vibrant though, the colours.
And then I found these instructions on how to make this quilt. It literally, the top of the quilt took me an hour and 35 minutes to sew together.
That is beautiful. And, so it's really bright greens, yellows, oranges. That is, does she love it?
Oh yes, absolutely. And then I actually ran courses on how to make these, and they were super popular. Now I'm thinking I'm finding a different pattern of how to use the jelly rolls in a different way, and I'm about to run another course in that.
I mean, the joy of taking home something like that is brilliant.
Absolutely.
And what else have you got?
Well, I also made this for my daughter. We had this hand sewing workshop to make this rabbit, because she's called Luna Lapping. There's books about her and everything. Yeah. And then I made her these leather Doc Martens, which I'm rather proud of. Yes. And this little dress is made of the same fabric and in kind of the same shape as the dress that I made my daughter, like a proper 13-year-old size one. So now she has a matching dress to her
wardrobe.
rabbit.
She's got the boots, and she's got this. Wow! So the point here is you can really come away with incredible things.
Yes, and like this rabbit one is a one-day workshop. You come in with nothing and you leave with a finished rabbit. It's really
can
cool.
anyone start sewing? Are there people there that are like, I just don't know the first idea?
Yeah, well, we have even courses in the summer holidays for teenagers and young people, so anybody can sew. The people that come through my space are so varied in age. My daughter's been there with 13, 12, and I have clients that are over 80, and they all come for different reasons. Some come for the interaction with other people, some come because they like the space, some come because they have their own sewing room, but they need a bigger cutting table because of the particular project they're working on. Some people have praised me because I have a lot of floor space, and they're like, I'm like, sorry, my cutting table is not so big. Oh, no, that's fine. I'm happy with the floor. I don't have so much floor at home,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And in the year you've been open, I mean, we've now got, haven't we, Tom Daly's going to do a knitting programme. We've got the Sewing Bee. Are you finding that more and more people are maybe returning or coming to for the first time, and including young people, teenagers, teenagers who are going, oh my gosh, I really want to get into this.
Yes, absolutely. That is happening.
Oh, that's your
quite a
phone,
lot.
don't worry.
Yes, sorry.
In your bag, which is probably a hand-stitched bag as
Yes,
well.
it is.
She goes to.
Sorry about that.
That's
yes,
all right.
no. Yes, there's a lot of people. Well, the Great British Sewing Bee is one of the main topics that we discuss in our classes and things. Everybody has something to say. Most people have kind of rekindled their love for sewing through that TV show. It's something I actually watched in Argentina many years ago when it started. So it was a big inspiration. I actually have pictures of their sewing room as in my mood board when I was designing this phase. So yes, I think it's brought a new light on sewing and how cool it is and how good for the environment. I love recycling denim. I use old jeans to make other things like this apron.
Wow.
And
That's brilliant because you've still got the pockets and stuff for the bottom half of the apron and a bag as well.
My bag is just a pair of jeans with a flap on them.
Massive inspiration here.
Yeah.
Right, how can people find out more then? Do they head to the website?
Yes, www.reddingsewingbee.co.uk or just Google Reading Sewing Bee. There's nothing like this.
Lovely, yes. It's been going a year and
Yes.
going strong, and get yourself on a course if you want a refresher. Lovely to talk to you about this this
too.
morning.
Thank you,
very much, and thanks for bringing those things in as well, that quilt. I mean, I'd pay you for that. Fantastic.
They teach you how to make it.
Yeah, probably a better idea. Right, Teddy swims now.